What if kindness was actually a career killer in old Hollywood? While ruthless moguls and backstabbing stars climbed to the top, these beloved actors discovered that being genuinely decent human beings came with a devastating cost that would shock you. Number 15, James Stewart. Jimmy Stewart's wholesome image wasn't just an act, it was the real deal, and Hollywood punished him for it. The all-American boy next door refused to play the studio game of scandals and publicity stunts, choosing instead to maintain his quiet dignity both on and off screen. While other stars manufactured controversies to stay in headlines, Stewart focused on his craft and treated everyone from directors to janitors with equal respect. This moral compass cost him dearly during the communist witch hunts of the 1950s. His refusal to name names or throw colleagues under the bus made him a target for studio executives who wanted compliant stars willing to destroy careers for political points. Stewart watched helplessly as friends like director Frank Capra were blacklisted, while he remained silent rather than save his own skin by betraying others. The financial impact was brutal. Stewart lost millions in potential earnings when studios passed him over for leading roles, favoring actors who played ball with the political machine. His commitment to treating co-stars fairly, including fighting for equal pay for female leads, further alienated penny-pinching producers. Critics praised his integrity, but box office receipts told a different story as audiences gravitated toward edgier, more controversial stars. Stewart's decency became his career kryptonite. Number 14, Henry Fonda. Henry Fonda's legendary stubbornness about artistic integrity made him Hollywood's most principled and consequently most financially punished leading man. Unlike contemporaries who chased easy paychecks, Fonda turned down lucrative roles that compromised his values, including a multi-million-dollar Western series that would have made him rich but typecast him forever. His kindness toward struggling actors became studio legend. Fonda regularly used his star power to demand supporting roles for unemployed friends, often at the expense of his own salary negotiations. He mentored countless young performers, sharing techniques and connections without expecting anything in return. This generosity earned him respect but cost him leverage when studio bosses realized they could exploit his good nature. The breaking point came during contract negotiations in the 1940s, when Fonda refused to sign an exclusive deal that would have prevented him from doing Broadway plays. His loyalty to theater and belief that actors should have creative freedom infuriated moguls who wanted total control. They retaliated by offering him fewer prestigious projects and smaller paychecks. Critics called him the conscience of Hollywood, but his conscience cost him an estimated $20 million in career earnings. Fonda proved that in a town built on exploitation, being decent was the most expensive luxury an actor could afford. Number 13, Jean Arthur. Jean Arthur's chronic shyness and genuine kindness made her one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses and one of its most exploited stars. Her sweet demeanor masked a fierce intelligence that studio executives consistently underestimated, leading to decades of financial manipulation that she was too polite to fight effectively. Arthur's defining characteristic was her inability to say no to requests for help. She regularly lent money to struggling crew members, paid for co-stars' medical bills, and even bought groceries for extras' families during the Depression. Her generosity became so well known that her dressing room turned into an unofficial welfare office, with people lining up for assistance she couldn't afford to give. This compassion made her a target for predatory contracts. Columbia Pictures had Harry Cohn exploited Arthur's reluctance to create conflict, locking her into deals that paid her a fraction of what male stars earned for similar roles. When she finally attempted to renegotiate after becoming a major box office draw, Cohn threatened to spread rumors about her personal life. Arthur backed down rather than engage in public warfare, a decision that cost her millions. Her kindness extended to protecting younger actresses from the studio system's worst abuses, often at personal cost. Arthur would take blame for production delays to shield inexperienced performers from punishment, earning her a reputation as difficult when she was actually being protective. This self-sacrifice ensured others' careers while sabotaging her own earning potential. Number 12, Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney's boundless energy and genuine enthusiasm for entertaining made him America's favorite teenager. But his trusting nature and loyalty to MGM cost him a fortune that would make modern stars weep. Despite being the #1 box office draw for 3 consecutive years, Rooney earned a weekly salary while the studio pocketed millions from his popularity. His biggest mistake was believing Louis B. Mayer's fatherly act. When Mayer promised to take care of him like family, young Mickey signed contract after contract without proper legal representation, trusting that the studio chief had his best interests at heart. This naive faith cost him ownership stakes in his most successful films, including the profitable Andy Hardy series that generated over $50 million in revenue. Rooney's kindness toward fellow performers became legendary and expensive. He regularly shared his dressing room with struggling actors, paid for their meals, and used his influence to get them small parts in his films. His generosity extended to the technical crew, where he was known for remembering everyone's names and personal details, often bringing gifts for their children and paying medical bills when workers were injured on set. The financial devastation became clear when Rooney tried to negotiate better terms in the 1940s. MGM's accountants revealed he had earned less than 2% of the profits from films that bore his name. His trust in the studio system's promises of future security left him with virtually nothing to show for being Hollywood's biggest teenage star. Number 11. Greer Garson. Greer Garson's refined elegance and genuine class made her MGM's perfect lady, but her unwillingness to engage in Hollywood's nastier games cost her the career longevity she deserved. While other actresses clawed their way to the top through strategic affairs and publicity stunts, Garson maintained her dignity and paid the price for her principles. Her reputation for kindness extended far beyond the studio lot. Garson regularly visited hospitalized fans, spent hours answering fan mail personally, and donated substantial portions of her salary to war relief efforts during World War II. Her genuine concern for others made her beloved by the public but invisible to gossip columnists who preferred scandalous stories over tales of charity. This wholesomeness became a career liability as audience tastes shifted toward grittier, more complex leading ladies in the 1950s. Studios began casting Garson in mother roles while she was still in her 40s, effectively ending her leading lady status. Her refusal to create drama or controversy through affairs or feuds left her with no publicity hooks to maintain relevance in an increasingly sensational media landscape. Garson's financial losses mounted when she turned down roles in films that became major hits because the subject matter conflicted with her values. Her moral stance cost her millions in potential earnings and limited her options to increasingly smaller, less prestigious projects. Critics praised her consistency and grace, but Hollywood's new generation of method actors and troubled beauties captured the roles that should have been hers. Number 10. Robert Young. Robert Young's dedication to portraying positive role models made him a television icon, but his insistence on family-friendly content cost him the edgy film roles that would have made him wealthy. His genuine belief in entertainment's power to inspire rather than exploit put him at odds with industry trends toward sensationalism and moral ambiguity. Young's kindness toward child actors became legendary in an industry notorious for exploiting young performers. He insisted on tutors, reasonable working hours, and protection from adult themes during production of Father Knows Best. His advocacy for young performers earned him enemies among producers who preferred the cheaper, more compliant approach of treating children like small adults. This protective instinct extended to his adult co-stars as well. Young regularly used his producer status to ensure fair working conditions, adequate catering, and respectful treatment for all cast and crew members. His sets became known as the friendliest in Hollywood, but his increased production costs made him less attractive to budget-conscious studios seeking maximum profit margins. The financial impact was severe when Young turned down lucrative film noir roles that would have capitalized on the genre's popularity in the 1940s and 1950s. His commitment to positive messaging cost him opportunities to work with prestigious directors and earn the critical acclaim that drives long-term career value. Young chose moral leadership over financial gain, proving that sometimes being a good influence is bad for business. Number 9. Donna Reed. Donna Reed's wholesome image and genuine sweetness made her America's ideal wife and mother, but her refusal to compromise her values for career advancement cost her the respect and financial rewards she deserved. In an industry that rewarded calculated manipulation, Reed's authentic kindness was seen as weakness rather than strength. Her legendary generosity towards struggling performers became a financial drain that Reed couldn't afford but wouldn't stop. She regularly paid rent for unemployed actors, bought groceries for crew members' families, and even established an unofficial loan program for people facing emergencies. Her dressing room became a de facto social services office where people knew they could find help without judgment. This compassion made Reed a target for exploitation by studio executives who realized she would accept lower salaries rather than engage in hardball negotiations. Her agents consistently failed to secure competitive compensation because Reed refused to threaten walkouts or create publicity controversies that might have strengthened her bargaining position. The breaking point came when Reed turned down several high-paying roles in films with adult themes, choosing instead to maintain her family-friendly image for the sake of her young fans. These moral choices cost her millions in potential earnings and limited her opportunities to demonstrate her dramatic range. Critics praised her consistency, but Hollywood's financial machinery punished her for prioritizing principles over profit, leaving her with a legacy of integrity but significantly less wealth than her contemporaries who played the game more ruthlessly. Number 8. Fred McMurray. Fred McMurray's easygoing nature and reluctance to cause conflict made him one of Hollywood's most professional actors. But his accommodating attitude cost him millions when studios took advantage of his good-natured personality. Unlike stars who fought tooth and nail for every dollar, McMurray's Midwestern politeness made him an easy target for penny-pinching executives. His reputation for kindness toward crew members became legendary but expensive. McMurray insisted on catered meals for everyone on set, not just stars, and regularly tipped technical workers from his own pocket. He remembered birthdays, asked about families, and treated every person on the production with equal respect, earning him universal affection but higher production costs that came out of his own budget. This generosity extended to his willingness to reshoot scenes multiple times to help inexperienced directors learn their craft. While other stars would storm off after a few takes, McMurray patiently worked through dozens of attempts, often at the expense of his own performance quality. His selflessness helped launch several directorial careers, but cost him opportunities to work with more established, prestigious filmmakers. The financial devastation became clear when McMurray discovered he had been systematically underpaid compared to less successful but more aggressive negotiators. His trust in studio promises and reluctance to demand market value cost him an estimated $15 million over his career. His kindness was repaid with exploitation, proving that in Hollywood's cutthroat business environment, being nice was a luxury few could afford. Number 7. June Allison. June Allison's girl-next-door charm and genuine sweetness made her MGM's sweetheart, but her inability to play hardball in business negotiations cost her the financial security her popularity should have guaranteed. Her trusting nature and desire to please everyone made her an easy target for studio manipulation and contractual exploitation. Allison's legendary kindness toward fans became a full-time job that she couldn't afford but wouldn't abandon. She spent hours each day personally answering fan mail, visiting sick children in hospitals, and making public appearances for charitable causes without compensation. Her genuine care for others made her beloved, but left little time for the political maneuvering necessary for career advancement. This compassion extended to her relationships with fellow performers, where Allison regularly used her star power to help struggling actresses find work. She would recommend friends for roles even when it meant less screen time for herself, and frequently shared her dressing room and publicity opportunities with less established performers. Her generosity earned her lifelong friendships but cost her competitive advantages in a ruthless industry. The financial impact was devastating when Allison's trusting nature led her to sign contracts without proper legal representation. Her belief that studio executives had her best interests at heart resulted in deals that paid her a fraction of what male stars earned for comparable roles. By the time she realized the extent of her financial disadvantage, her peak earning years had passed, leaving her with regrets about choosing kindness over shrewd business sense. Number 6. Van Johnson, Van Johnson's boy-next-door appeal and genuine decency made him one of MGM's most reliable leading men, but his refusal to engage in the industry's darker practices cost him the career longevity and financial rewards he deserved. His commitment to treating everyone with respect made him beloved on sets, but vulnerable to exploitation by ruthless executives. Johnson's legendary generosity toward struggling performers became a financial burden that threatened his own security. He regularly lent money to unemployed actors, paid for medical treatments when insurance failed, and even supported entire families during periods of industry unemployment. His inability to say no to requests for help turned him into an unofficial welfare system for Hollywood's forgotten performers. This kindness extended to his unwillingness to compete ruthlessly for roles that might have elevated his career. While other actors lobbied aggressively and spread negative stories about competitors, Johnson remained supportive of fellow performers, even when they were vying for the same parts. His sportsmanlike behavior earned him respect, but cost him opportunities that went to more aggressive rivals. The breaking point came when Johnson discovered that his trusting relationship with MGM had resulted in contracts that severely undervalued his box office appeal. His reluctance to create negative publicity through public disputes allowed the studio to exploit his good nature for years. When he finally attempted to renegotiate for fair compensation, executives used his reputation for agreeableness against him, suggesting that demanding more money would damage his wholesome image with fans. Number 5. Dennis O'Keefe. Dennis O'Keefe's working-class background and genuine humility made him Hollywood's most down-to-earth leading man, but his loyalty to struggling friends and reluctance to self-promote cost him the star status his talent deserved. Unlike actors who cultivated mystique and distance, O'Keefe's accessibility made him beloved but undervalued in an industry that confused arrogance with importance. His reputation for helping others became legendary and financially ruinous. O'Keefe regularly used his salary to support unemployed actors' families, paid for friends' children's educations, and even established an informal job placement service that connected struggling performers with work opportunities. His generosity created a network of grateful colleagues, but left him with significantly less wealth than his earning power should have provided. This kindness extended to his willingness to take supporting roles in friends' vanity projects, often for minimal compensation. While other stars carefully guarded their image by only appearing in prestigious films, O'Keefe would accept any role that helped a colleague's career, even when it meant associating with lower-budget productions that diminished his own market value. The financial devastation became apparent when O'Keefe's agent revealed how much money he had lost by consistently accepting below-market salaries to help others. His inability to prioritize his own financial interests over friendship and loyalty cost him millions in potential earnings. Critics praised his authenticity and generosity, but Hollywood's business machinery punished him for refusing to treat relationships as purely transactional arrangements, proving that genuine kindness was incompatible with maximum profit. Number 4. Joel McCrea. Joel McCrea's integrity and old-fashioned values made him the gold standard for Western heroes, but his unwillingness to compromise his principles for commercial success cost him opportunities in Hollywood's evolving landscape. His commitment to wholesome entertainment and respectful treatment of colleagues made him beloved, but increasingly irrelevant as audiences embraced grittier, more morally ambiguous stories. McCrea's legendary fairness towards supporting actors became a model for professional behavior, but a liability in contract negotiations. He insisted on fair compensation for all cast members, often accepting lower salaries himself to ensure adequate pay for lesser-known performers. His advocacy for equitable treatment made him popular among working actors, but expensive for cost-conscious producers. This generosity extended to his relationships with crew members, where McCrea was known for learning everyone's names, remembering personal details, and ensuring comfortable working conditions regardless of budget constraints. His sets became known as the friendliest in Hollywood, but his increased production costs made him less attractive to studios focused on profit margins rather than worker satisfaction. The breaking point came when McCrea turned down lucrative opportunities in film noir and psychological dramas that would have showcased his dramatic range but conflicted with his values. His commitment to positive role models cost him chances to work with prestigious directors and demonstrate his versatility beyond Western roles. While critics respected his consistency, his moral stance limited his earning potential and career longevity in an industry that increasingly rewarded complexity over simplicity. Number 3. Gary Cooper. Gary Cooper's quiet dignity and genuine humility made him one of Hollywood's most respected leading men. But his reluctance to engage in self-promotion and industry politics cost him recognition and financial rewards that should have been automatic. His understated approach to stardom made him beloved, but undervalued in a system that rewarded aggressive self-marketing. Cooper's legendary kindness towards struggling performers became a costly habit that he couldn't break. He regularly shared his salary with supporting actors who were underpaid, lent money that was never repaid, and used his influence to secure roles for friends, even when it meant less prestigious opportunities for himself. His generosity created lifelong loyalty, but severe financial strain. This compassion extended to his treatment of fans and journalists, where Cooper spent countless unpaid hours giving interviews, signing autographs, and making public appearances that other stars charged premium rates to provide. His accessibility and genuine interest in people made him universally loved, but exploited by those who took advantage of his good nature. The financial devastation became clear when Cooper's business manager revealed how much money he had lost through generous loans, below-market contracts, and refusal to demand top dollar for his services. His belief that talent should speak for itself rather than requiring aggressive negotiation cost him millions in potential earnings. Critics praised his authenticity and moral character, but Hollywood's financial machinery punished him for prioritizing relationships over profit, proving that even the most talented actors needed ruthless business instincts to maximize their earning potential. Number 2. James Mason. James Mason's sophisticated intelligence and genuine class made him one of cinema's most distinguished performers. But his unwillingness to play Hollywood's publicity games cost him the commercial success his talent deserved. His commitment to artistic integrity over box office appeal made him critically acclaimed but financially disadvantaged in an industry that prioritized marketability. Mason's legendary generosity toward fellow actors became a career-long pattern of self-sabotage disguised as kindness. He regularly recommended colleagues for roles he wanted himself, shared billing when his star power could have demanded top placement, and accepted lower salaries to work with respected directors rather than pursuing maximum financial gain through commercial projects. This nobility extended to his relationships with crew members and industry professionals, where Mason was known for treating everyone with equal respect regardless of their position in Hollywood's rigid hierarchy. His democratic approach to filmmaking made him universally respected but often excluded from the insider networks that controlled the most lucrative opportunities. The breaking point came when Mason's refusal to engage in promotional activities and celebrity culture limited his box office appeal despite critical acclaim. His belief that his work should speak for itself rather than requiring aggressive marketing cost him opportunities with major studios that preferred stars willing to participate in publicity campaigns. While critics praised his performances and professionalism, his principled stance against Hollywood's more superficial aspects ultimately limited his earning potential and mainstream recognition. Number 1. Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy's legendary integrity and commitment to authentic performance made him one of cinema's greatest actors, but his refusal to compromise his principles for commercial gain cost him the financial rewards his talent and popularity should have guaranteed. His dedication to treating everyone with respect and maintaining professional standards made him beloved, but exploited by ruthless studio executives who knew he would prioritize relationships over profit. Tracy's most expensive quality was his inability to abandon struggling friends and colleagues. He regularly used his considerable influence to secure work for unemployed actors, accepted reduced salaries to ensure fair compensation for supporting players, and even established an informal support network that provided financial assistance to industry professionals facing hardship. His generosity became legendary but financially devastating. This kindness extended to his unwillingness to compete ruthlessly for the most prestigious and lucrative roles. While other stars engaged in aggressive lobbying and political maneuvering to secure plum assignments, Tracy believed his reputation and talent should speak for themselves. His gentlemanly approach to career advancement earned him respect, but cost him opportunities that went to more aggressive competitors. The ultimate price of Tracy's decency became clear when financial analysts calculated how much money he had lost through generous contracts, unpaid favors, and refusal to demand market value for his services. His commitment to treating filmmaking as an art rather than a business cost him an estimated $30 million in potential earnings. Critics universally praised his integrity and talent, but Hollywood's ruthless economic system punished him for being genuinely good, proving that in Tinseltown's golden age, kindness was the most expensive luxury a star could afford. So there you have it. 15 stars who discovered that being decent human beings was Hollywood's most costly career move. These actors proved that genuine kindness and integrity were incompatible with maximum profit in an industry built on exploitation and ruthless ambition. Which of these stories shocked you the most? Do you think these actors were naive for trusting the system, or were they the only ones who understood what really mattered? Here's the controversial question that demands an answer. In today's even more cutthroat entertainment industry, is it still possible for genuinely nice people to succeed, or has Hollywood's lesson been learned too well?